Imagine a cold night in Washington. A dim lamp burns inside the White House. A tired man, tall, gaunt, shoulders bowed, bends over a desk scattered with letters, maps, and reports of a nation tearing itself apart. His name is Abraham Lincoln. He is not yet the legend carved into mountains and monuments. Not yet the martyr praised across continents. He is simply a president in crisis, exhausted, grieving, uncertain, and painfully aware that the fate of millions rests on his next decision. More than 160 years have passed since that night, but the world still turns to him. Why? Why does this one man, born in a log cabin, self-taught, self-made, relentlessly doubted, continue to inspire the world in an age of cynicism, division, and rapid change? This is the story of why Lincoln's leadership still matters, not as a relic of the past, but as a guide for the future. The humble origins. Why his story still matters. Lincoln's beginnings were not glamorous. No wealth, no connections, no elite schooling, just frontier poverty, hard labor, and a few borrowed books. And this is where the inspiration begins. Because Lincoln's story tells the world that greatness is not inherited, it is forged. As a boy, he walked miles just to borrow a book. As a young man, he taught himself law by candlelight. As a politician, he endured public failures, humiliating defeats, and heartbreaks. Yet each setback made him sharper, more resilient, and more determined. In an age where people often feel overwhelmed by barriers, inequality, lack of opportunity, social pressure, Lincoln's life is a reminder. You don't need the perfect start. You just need the courage to take the next step. This is why nations still teach his story, why leaders still quote his words, why young people still look to him as proof that greatness can grow from the humblest soil. The moral compass. A leader who knew right from wrong. Lincoln did not seek conflict. He despised war. He wanted peace, unity, and compromise. But there comes a moment in every leader's life when compromise becomes surrender and neutrality becomes injustice. For Lincoln, that moment came with slavery. He understood something moral, simple, and profound. A nation built on freedom cannot survive half free and half enslaved. He was not perfect, no leader is, but he held to a principle that transcended politics and generations. Human dignity is not negotiable. In a world still divided by racism, inequality, and systemic injustice, Lincoln's stand resonates deeply. He shows that leadership is not about pleasing everyone. It is about protecting the moral foundation on which a society stands. The courage to lead in darkness. By 1861, the United States was breaking apart. States seceded, armies formed, violence erupted, assassination threats became routine. Lincoln entered office under a storm unlike anything America had ever seen. He had no roadmap, no precedent, no guarantee of success. All he had was courage. Not the loud, heroic kind, but the quiet, relentless kind. The courage to act when others froze. The courage to stand firm when others wavered. The courage to take responsibility when failure seemed certain. This lesson still matters today. Great leadership is not defined by certainty, but by bravery in uncertainty. In times of crisis, pandemics, wars, political chaos, the world still searches for leaders who, like Lincoln, can remain steady when everything else collapses. The Emancipation Proclamation, a moment that changed humanity. On January 1st, 1863, Lincoln signed a document that transformed the world, the Emancipation Proclamation. It did not end slavery everywhere. It did not instantly free all enslaved people, but it forever changed the direction of history. The war was no longer just a struggle for union. It became a fight for freedom. And freedom is an idea that crosses borders, languages, and centuries. His proclamation inspired enslaved people to flee to Union lines. It inspired abolitionists in Europe. It inspired oppressed people around the world who saw proof that justice, even delayed, could triumph. This is why Lincoln endures. He understood that leadership means using power to expand freedom, not restrict it. The art of humility, the leader with no ego. Many great leaders possess charisma, ambition, or brilliance. Few possess humility. Lincoln's humility was not weakness, it was strength. He admitted mistakes. He changed course when needed. He listened to critics. He welcomed rivals. He forgave enemies. Imagine a modern leader doing that. Lincoln once said, "I have been driven many times to my knees by the overwhelming conviction that I had nowhere else to go." This humility, this willingness to question oneself, is rare. And in today's world of political arrogance, corporate ego, and social media theatrics, Lincoln's humility is not just inspiring, it is revolutionary. The power of words. Lincoln as a master of language. Lincoln understood something timeless. Words shape nations. Words shape hope. Words shape history. He didn't speak often, but when he did, the world listened. The Gettysburg Address is only 272 words, yet it reshaped the nation's purpose. The second inaugural address is one of the most powerful reflections on war, unity, and forgiveness ever written. His letters, speeches, and stories reveal a leader who used language not to manipulate or divide, but to clarify, uplift, and heal. In an age drowning in misinformation, anger, and noise, Lincoln's words remain a model of clarity, integrity, and purpose. The tragic end and the birth of a legend. Lincoln lived to see victory, but not peace. On April 14, 1865, he entered Ford's Theater. He never walked out. His death shocked the nation and electrified the world. He became more than a president, more than a leader, more than a historical figure. He became a symbol, a reminder that freedom demands sacrifice, unity demands empathy, leadership demands courage. His martyrdom ensured that his lessons would survive long after the Civil War faded from memory. Why Lincoln still inspires the world today. So why does Lincoln endure in the 21st century? Why does his face appear on currency, monuments, documentaries, and speeches worldwide? Because the challenges he faced, division, inequality, fear, conflict, are the same challenges humanity faces today. Lincoln matters because he rose from nothing. He fought for justice when it was dangerous. He held a nation together through its darkest hour. He placed unity above revenge. He believed in the possibility of a better world. He embodied humility and power. He proved that moral courage can change history. When leaders today falter, when societies struggle, when people feel hopeless, Lincoln stands as a reminder. One person can still make a difference. One voice can still redefine a nation. One leader can still inspire the world. The timeless lessons we still need. Here are the lessons the world still draws from Lincoln. Leadership lesson. 1. Start where you are. Your background does not determine your future. Leadership. Lesson number 2. Know your moral North Star. A leader without values cannot lead. Leadership lesson number 3. Listen more than you speak. Humility builds trust. Ego destroys it. Leadership lesson number 4. Use power to liberate, not dominate. True leadership expands freedom. Leadership lesson number 5. Unite, don't divide. A divided nation in our company or community cannot thrive. Leadership lesson number 6. Stand firm in crisis. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act despite it. Leadership lesson number 7. Words shape destiny. Speak with purpose or risk being forgotten. These lessons are not tied to the 19th century. They belong to every century. Conclusion. Why Lincoln belongs to all of us. Abraham Lincoln does not belong solely to America. He belongs to anyone who has ever faced injustice, anyone who has ever fought for unity, anyone who has ever doubted themselves, anyone who has ever needed courage in dark times. He belongs to the dreamers, the thinkers, the leaders, the humble, and the hopeful. His legacy is not carved in stone, it is carried in hearts. As long as humanity seeks freedom, justice, and unity, Lincoln's leadership will continue to inspire the world. If you found this story fascinating, like, share, and subscribe to Timeless Questions channel, where we explore the civilizations, ideas, and mysteries that shaped humanity.